Hi there, it's Simon here from MusicRadar. I am joined today by Si Truss, who's editor for Future Music magazine. And today we're taking a look at the brand new pocket operator from Teenage Engineering.
Yep, so the PO-32 Tonic, which is the 7th in Teenage Engineering's PO range. Yep,
wow.
So we had
come along
3 a couple of years ago in the first batch, 3 last year, and now this is the latest one which they announced back in January, and it's kind of just hitting shops about now.
Yeah, brilliant.
So the Tonic, it takes its name from a plugin called Microphonic.
Yep.
Which is from a developer called Sonic Charge, who you might also know from a synth called Synplant, which is a cool little esoteric synth plugin.
And the main man there is Magnus Lidström, isn't it? And he's actually been developing this with Teenage Engineering. And what's the beauty of this one compared to the others is that it's a hybrid, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. So the previous POs we've had kind of more basic drum machines, weird little kind of sampley drum machines, had kind of chiptune synths, a bass synth, stuff like that. This is a drum synthesizer, like the other pocket operators. You get 16 sounds in it. It's also got 16-step sequencer. You can save 16 patterns. You can chain patterns, add accents, all the kind of same stuff that you got in the old pocket operators. Again, it's in the same kind of like credit card size. Pretty kind of basic and exposed form.
It's part of their charm, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's got kind of built-in speaker, runs on a couple of AAA batteries, little jack output, little jack input, this screen, and a couple of parameter knobs, and then some sort of fairly basic buttons. So it's based on the same sound engine as Microphonic, the plugin. So it's an electronic drum synthesizer. So let's have a listen to some of the sounds inside. So like I said, there's 16 pattern memory. Let's go through some of the patterns. These are all basically patterns that have come in it. I've not done that much tweaking, so let's just scroll through.
So it's fresh out the box.
Yeah. So you've got these 2 parameter knobs here, which can edit the kind of sounds, timbre and pitch as we go.
Yeah.
Let's have a look
You can. You've got tempo. You can change tempo on a dial, but you've also got sort of 3 set tempo.
So we can change the BPM from a minimum of 60 up to a maximum of 240. There's also swing control here, hold down the BPM. And yeah, like you said, there's kind of 3 preset tempos, so which are interestingly labelled on here.
You've got the basic hip hop, which is
you've got hip hop, which is 80 BPM.
Yeah.
Disco, which is 120 BPM, and then 140 BPM, which is labelled in the manual as techno, but if you can look on the screen there, is actually labelled tencho.
Banging bit of tencho.
We're going to give them a benefit of the doubt and say is something that Teenage Engineering did on purpose, but
we might have to get another one in just to double check that's not with all of them.
Yeah,
maybe
this might just be a kind of really rare and valuable one.
Yeah. If so, hands off, it's ours.
So speaking about the screen, as you can see, you get this kind of same slightly esoteric design screen like the other pocket operators.
Yeah, they all had a theme, wasn't it? Like the arcade, you had like sort of game thing, you had a factory with like forklift trucks, and there's an office with people working around.
So they're kind of more little cartoony stories.
Yeah.
They're not the most valuable screens in terms of giving you parameter information. You get your kind of little A and B feedback there, and you get kind of BPM. You've got a clock and an alarm.
So it's got use.
Yeah, built-in alarm clock, always useful. But in terms of the screen itself, it's not the world's
It's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get a bit of visual feedback with when you're kind of making some tweaks and it's playing. And
which is something that kind of goes through to all of the pocket operators.
Yeah.
They're not the most intuitive things to use. You find yourself reading the manual and kind of they've got slightly cryptic labellings on. Involve a few kind of button presses. Once you get your head around it, they're not too bad to use. They're kind of a lot of fun still, but they can be a little bit.
It's not the deepest in machines, but you do need a little bit to get you sort of stuck.
And you will want to read the manual to work out what's going on.
So
another thing that's really great about these, all of the pocket operators, is they have these great built-in effects.
Yes.
So let's just run.
It's part part of the charm, isn't it? There?
Yeah, so if we hold down the effects button, you basically got 16 kind of performance effects in here, which range from kind of filtery things, kind of echo, a delay, beat repeats, reverse.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool little bouncy ball thing, some sort of distortion-y effects. Basically makes it really easy to make like warp records, Aphex Twin,
and that's the beauty of it.
glitches,
it's so immediate.
very easy.
You can literally just get in there. You can really glitch out a sequence so quickly, and you've just got something like completely unique to what you've had, before. So
so they're really fun little noisemakers for that.
So just to say, when it comes to the hardware, so the big difference here, if we look at the difference, I'll tell you what, I've got an arcade one right here, the old PO-20. You notice there's a difference here. Top right hand corner, microphone.
Yep, so the big difference with these ones is the addition of a mic.
Yeah.
Which in the case of the Tonic is used for transferring sounds.
Yeah.
So this is the cool thing about it being a kind of hybrid thing with Microphonic. Whereas all the pocket operators before, you had 16 built-in sounds, and although you can kind of tweak them with these two knobs, you're basically stuck with the 16 sounds inside them.
Yeah.
With the Tonic, effectively, you can create as many sounds as you want in Microphonic, and you can upload them straight into the
So essentially,
PO-32.
They've just blown it open. You've got almost unlimited sounds, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you can create in there, you can put on here.
Yeah, so Microphonic is quite a nice little drum synth anyway. It's been around for a few years now. It's not the newest plugin, but it's a really nice little drum synthesizer with a kind of oscillator section, noise section, and various little nice little features, including a morphing feature. So it's got a morphing capability, which means you can set a set of parameters and a B set of parameters, and morph between them. On the hardware itself, this B knob here,
that's where you do it.
Yeah, so what you're doing with this is you can turn it to morph between two sets of pre-assigned parameters, which is kind of really nice for...
So I'll just put this back here. Let's have a look then at the transfer, because the transfer is a bit wacky.
Yeah, so like I said, the mic itself is what's used for transferring sounds from Microphonic. So in the plugin, I will show you, I've just made a simple little 16-step 8-sound loop. So kind of basic little drum synth groove.
Yeah.
What we can do is we can send either one or all of the sounds from this into the PO-32. So what we do is hit the Teenage Engineering logo up here.
Yeah.
Now we can either transfer sound
to any one of the 16 slots, yeah?
Yeah, so what I do is I press the accent button and the sound button on the PO, and now I could hit anywhere of these, and it would transfer the sound into one of the slots.
So that Star Trek noise is just it being prepared, isn't it?
That's it saying it's ready.
It's ready.
What we're going to do instead is we're going to transfer all of the sounds from my groove and the pattern all in one go.
All right, so the whole everything, all the information we need.
So
and then
I'm going to pass you this.
Yeah, and I need to hold it right up close. Yeah.
Yeah, if you hold it up close to the monitor, and then I'm going to hit transfer.
Okay.
Cool.
Ace.
And then that should mean that we have our whole 16-step groove and all of the sounds from the plugin,
all via classic dial-up technology.
Yeah,
it's
so
amazing.
The exact same noise you used to hear when you connected to the internet in the late 90s.
Ages to just get on the internet.
Yep, it's the same kind of sending data through audio.
So we can thank Teenage Engineering for keeping that old technology alive, which is lovely.
So just to show you, so if I hit play in, this is in the plugin, this is our groove in the plugin.
Yeah.
We stop that. And then I hit play on the PO. So we've got our same groove and all of our same sounds in the PO. It's worth noting that there is a button in Microphonic which says optimize for PO-32.
Okay.
Obviously, the plugin can still do the odd thing that the hardware can't.
So there's a little bit of wizardry. We don't know what.
I don't know exactly what it does, but there's a certain amount of optimization that goes on there.
So hit the optimize for PO-32 button, and then you're all ready to go.
But generally speaking, it's pretty accurate what you can get into this. So not only can you do it over audio like that, should you be in a noisy space or kind of like, in a club or a noisy studio or whatever.
So you can't be doing this when you're in like
a
club.
You can also plug it in via a audio cable out from your laptop or audio interface or whatever, and do it into the audio input here, which is, again, you might find yourself doing after you get sick of hearing the retro charm of the dial-up tone might get annoying after a while, 4 or 5 times of doing it.
I mean, I haven't got tired of it just yet, but
maybe like 1 or 2 away. But so as well as transferring sounds from the plugin, you can also use the same thing to transfer sounds and info from one PO-32 to another, which involves basically just holding them close together.
Same thing we did
or
there.
You can hook them up via a little audio cable.
All right, so they can talk to each other. That's pretty cool. We're digging the fact that they've opened up the POs to be a bit more than they were before. They were a bit locked down. You could only do a certain amount with them, but now the kind of possibilities are now sort of branching out into new sort of areas and
so it makes
more useful, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean the thing that you always find with stuff like the pocket operators and any kind of little cheap, affordable groove box or anything like that is that you'll kind of see news go live online and immediately you'll get people saying kind of like, oh, it's just a toy.
The naysayers.
And I have a personal sort of gripe against people slagging things off because they're a toy, because you kind of find people saying that about anything from this to kind of the Volkers to Arturia gear to Electron gear, and you kind of end up down this rabbit hole of anything that isn't a $4,000 huge synth workstation.
Exactly. They are amazing. They still do loads of cool things.
The question for me isn't whether something is a toy, it's whether it has a use and whether that use is worth spending the money they're charging for it. So with this and with all the POs, in fact, personally I'm on the side of they are useful. They're not the most kind of flexible drum machines in the world. So you've got this one audio output. You have also got an audio input which you can use to sync them up. They will accept pulse clock either from another PO or from something like a Volker, or you can just stick a pulse clock out of an audio interface. You can also daisy chain them by having a stereo signal with audio on one side and a pulse on the other. So you can sync them up, and they do have these kind of studio niceties like that. It's not, it's not the most flexible drum machine in the world. I've had some of the other POs at home for the last kind of couple of years now. Personally, I really like them for just kind of sampling into something like Machine or Ableton, or the effects are really nice for just making like weird little top lines, little loops. The kind of thing that I will I'll quite regularly have an afternoon where I'll just sit there with the POs, messing around with sounds, recording loads and loads of loops, and not with the aim of making a track, but for having a bank of stuff that you can just stick into a beat. And it's kind of cool, little inspirational, fun stuff. And so for that, I think they're definitely worth the money. This one is a little bit more expensive than the previous POs.
So the first series, £45. Second series,
55. I think they're going for at the moment.
This one is
85
£85.
When they announced that there was a bundle deal with Microphonic plugin, I think for around 130, 135 quid. Looking at Teenage Engineering's website before we started filming, it looks like that's
sold out.
Whether that's going to come back,
I hope so.
It makes a lot of sense to be able to buy the hardware and the plugin.
But we must stress that you can still purchase them separately.
Microphonic is it's a really nice little drum synth anyway. It's not the world's most expensive plugin. I think it comes in well under the £100 mark. And it's a cool little flexible drum synth anyway. So like buying the two is they pair nicely. It's good value for money. There's definitely a decent amount of studio applications.
I suppose if you are buying this one, the hardware, you are better off going for the Microphonic plugin, because you could buy a cheaper drum machine, I suppose, and it's what makes it's the USP here, isn't it, really?
I mean, obviously you've got the option, you can buy it, and if you like the sounds you can kind of upgrade to have the plugin.
But don't.
So my one little disappointment with this is that at the moment, anyway, so while I was saying you can upload sounds and sequences from Microphonic and you can transfer them between POs, at the moment you can't send sequences from your PO back into Microphonic, which I find a little bit of a shame, because basically what...
Sketch out ideas.
So what I'd like to be able to do with this is take it on the bus or the train on the way to work, mess around with your 16 sounds that you've built. You're like, okay, I've come up with a cool little groove. I've chained a couple of patterns together or whatever.
Oh, then want to put that into my
I want to now take this home,
studio.
Load it into DAW.
Yeah.
It would be great if you could use the same method to just pump this back into Microphonic, so you could then have everything on separate channels, and treat it as a proper track and build stuff around it. At the moment, you can't.
But hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know enough about how the tech works to be able to say whether it's possible or whether it's not.
But if you're listening, Teenage, do that, because I think people like that.
It's worth noting as well that the microphones are going to be on future POs.
So we're hoping there's going to be more in this.
Whether they're going to repeat the same trick of being able to upload sounds, whether they'll use it for different things, who knows? But it's hopefully going to be something.
Maybe some sampling.
Ones. Who knows?
Let's see.
Yeah.
But generally, we like it.
Yeah, but again, we're impressed. It's £85, and for £85, you'll make some really cool noises, and it's a lot of fun.
Got a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's
Great.
good.
Thank you. Okay, so that's your lot. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment wherever you're seeing this right now. And be sure to check out musicradar.com for all the latest news, reviews, and tutorials. Cheers.